that I loved her when I started farming the fireflies. I opened my eyes one evening to find thousands of fireflies around me. The answer lit up over my head 1,000 light bulbs. Fireflies. Their cool glimmering light isn't so harsh on the skin. So I bought a few acres of land here in the Amazon rainforest. The best place on earth to breed and grow fireflies. I specially designed and built these little firefly hotels and hoisted them up amongst dozens of mango trees. The first arrivals were the good old-fashioned yellow ones. But then, more rare and exotic colors began to arrive from the depths of the Amazon. A swirl of magentas arrived one evening at twilight. They were followed by a glittering train of their lime green cousins. Seafoam greens, tangerines, lavenders, you name it. The jungle's color palette began to arrive on my land. The word got out amongst this nearly endangered species of insect, and soon my farm became a mecca. It wasn't long before I had millions, migrations of millions of fireflies floating over the jungle to arrive at my farm. I took it upon myself to learn their blinking code, and once I was fluent, I flashed it back to them with an old light bright board I found at a garage sale. Fireflies! Thanks guys, I'm glad you're here. Welcome. You're looking good. Thank you all for assembling here. These have been apocalyptic years for your species. Many of you have been gassed and poisoned. Many of you have had your jungles cut down right in front of you. Many of you have lost friends and family to human children with glass jars. But not anymore. Here on my farm, you are safe. Here you can flash and you can flirt to your heart's content. All I ask of you is your understanding. My name is Eric, and I'm madly in love with a woman who's allergic to the sun. Her name is Cynthia. She likes long walks on the beach in her astronaut suit. But by now, her spacesuit is nearly worn out and she's been locked up in her grandparents' apartment in downtown Rio. What's that? Don't worry, they told me. We will find her, and we will bring her to you. And with that, the lime greens separated themselves into a special team and flew off towards Rio. Look for windows that are triple tinted and curtained, okay? I called out as they flew. The rest of the colors swirled around, planning for the event. I tried not to get my hopes up. Would Cynthia even remember me? Would she dare don that nearly worn-out spacesuit for one more adventure outside of her grandparents' apartment? I looked out across the horizon towards the lime greens, and I said, "You are now my last one, so please, bring her to me. Bring Cynthia to me." Many of the older fireflies decided to donate their abdomens to the cause. They dropped their still glowing capsules on the ground and then flew off to die. Me, the firefly farmer, with a rake, rearranging all of the piles of firefly abdomens according to color. You see, this world here, I've created it just for her. It's specially tailored to her condition. The way that I see it, we are all wearing a spacesuit. Without any say in the matter, we are born into them. Sure, we make friends along the way, we find partners, and we hold hands with them, space love and space love, but at some point along the path, they are all torn away from us. Mothers and fathers, brothers and sisters, they die. Our spouses leave us and we leave them. Our children, we brought them into this world, but we get invites and they don't visit us as often as we would like. Our friends, they judge us and we feel more alone than ever. Fundamentally, we are alone. We are born alone and we die alone. And as long as I can remember, the pain of this realization has eaten me up from the inside out. If we're all trapped inside of a spacesuit, how do we ever let anyone else in? We have to protect ourselves with our spacesuits, to keep our guts from imploding, to keep our blood from spattering out into outer space, and yet we're dying to be touched. We are incomplete without human hands on the napes of our necks, on the smalls of our backs, on the tips of our fingers. Is true love the release to this pressurized suit? When we fall in love, we try to open up, to let someone in. Hands shaking, nervous to be naked, we undo the latches of our spacesuits. Time and space collapse. And in those hauntingly surreal relationships, we are most alive. And we watch, exposed as our hearts leap out of our chest and into the hands of the only person on planet Earth who has ever made us feel like this. This is why I worship her. Cynthia, so ripe to be released. Like a hermit crab, she's shed one protective suit for another, but not anymore. I will help her out of that stuffy cage of high-tech space material. I'll be there for her, holding her hand as we undo the latches of her spacesuit. I'll help her out of her spacesuit, and in doing so, she will help me out of mine. Now that I've met her, I don't feel so alone. It's stupid, and it's wonderful, and that's just the way that love is. Our only ceiling will be constellations of fireflies. Cynthia, Cynthia, Cynthia. So incredibly lovely in her spacesuit. I couldn't help but smile. She had a lasso of lime greens around her waist. A little creek of electric blues illuminated her from below. Mangoes imbued with tangerine phosphorescence throbbed above her. Finally she was here. Finally she was here, pressed up against me. I could barely stand up, my knees were so wobbly. Now it was time to take off our spacesuits. We both knew it was true. I could feel her heart beating even louder than mine. She took my hand and led it to her helmet release.